What is up, guys? Chase Oliver here, bringing you my TNA Impact Wrestling review for September 10th, 2014. Let's get started with this one. We kicked off Impact Wrestling this week with the debut of Chris Melendez. TNA did a good job of making this feel like a big deal that he's wrestling for their product, which I gotta give them props on, because normally when someone debuts, they don't make them feel that special. But TNA, as of late with their debuts, especially with Havoc last week and now Melendez, they do a good job at making these guys and girls feel like a big deal. But really, his opponent, Chris Melendez's opponent is not a big deal. DJZ is a designated jobber in TNA. Impact Wrestling, you want me to take Chris Melendez seriously? Put him with someone other than DJZ. DJZ loses all the damn time when he's on TV. The only time he wins is if he's in tag matches. That's the only time he wins, and he wins because of a cheap roll-up. This dude is a loser. I'm sorry, man. I can't look at Chris Melendez and be like, wow, I was impressed by this guy because he beat this superstar. No, instead I'm like, okay, he beat DJZ. Everyone could beat DJZ. Hell, if I was some random schmo that signed a TNA contract right now, I could probably beat DJZ. I mean, seriously, he's just a designated jobber. You should have given Chris Melendez a different opponent. That's just me. As for Melendez inside of the ring, he was okay. I wasn't like wowed by him, but he did fine. DJZ did fine. This match was just okay. It wasn't like the greatest way to kick off Impact, that's for sure. Like, I definitely would have saved this match more for the middle of the show, but it is what it is, and Chris Melendez got the win. Now we just have to wait and see what TNA will do with the Chris Melendez character further down the road. The promo with Roode and Destroyer Lashley, I thought was pretty solid. It definitely got a nice vibe to me to kind of get excited for the No Surrender match next week. Like, it wasn't like this blew me away and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to see the No Surrender match. But it definitely got me excited. You know, Bobby Roode saying the typical babyface things. I have the drive. I have the passion. I can do it. And Destroyer Lashley just being Destroyer Lashley, standing there looking like a boss with the title and MVP talking for him. So they did a good job with it. And then this led to, the 3-on-1 assault that we know MVP, Keen, and Lashley will do. Out comes Joe and Eric Young. Joe says, you guys like to fight 3-on-1. How about we fight 3-on-3? We get an impromptu 6-man tag match between these guys, and I thought it was an okay match. It was okay to good. I wish it got a little bit more time, and I kind of felt the placing of this match should have been in the second hour. I definitely felt like they should have saved this segment in the second hour. That's what I would have done at least. But hey, it is what it is. Match was good. Babyfaces go after Bobby Roode hits the Roode bomb on MVP. Right booking decision there, as you're trying to build up Bobby Roode as a strong babyface to face your super duper strong heel champion in Destroyer Lashley. Good decision to me, and I'm kind of a little bit excited for the No Surrender match next week on Impact. Let me just say before I continue to review, I hated, and I mean hated, that TNA promoted fucking Bellator. Seriously, Bellator ain't going to promote you guys. That's my problem with it. It's not like Bellator is going to go in there and be like, hey, check out Bobby Lashley, reigning TNA World Champion on Impact Wrestling. No, they ain't going to promote you guys. So why the fuck are you promoting them? I get it, Lashley fought there and everything, and it makes him look more like a beast that he won an MMA fight. But seriously, come on, TNA. Don't promote them. I don't care what Spike TV says. If Spike TV says you have to promote Bellator, I would go up to them and then say, hey, if we have to promote Bellator, tell Bellator they have to promote us in a big way. Like promote us on their next show. Because I watched the Bellator fight, they promoted Lashley as the TNA champion, but they didn't show like any fucking graphic of him in TNA. They didn't show anything. They just had Bobby Lashley and stuff like that. Like, they did not promote anything about TNA on that Bellator show. They just kind of said like, oh yeah, he wrestles for Impact Wrestling, but that's it. Like, TNA, do a better job with your business management. If you're going to promote Bellator, make sure Bellator promotes fucking you. That's all I got to say about it. So the Bromance teamed up with the Beautiful People to take on the Mandarin. And you would think like, oh, maybe this match was used to build up the tag team division. Well, the commentators didn't seem to care about this match because this was their advertisement match, man. They were just advertising the living shit during this match. Taz is all like, what's Tinder, Mike? Well, Tinder's this app where you can find hot chicks. Oh, that's awesome. Don't forget, Bobby Lashley, Bellator. Oh, yeah, our TNA champion in Bellator, baby. Hey, Taz, have you had your 5-hour energy just yet? Oh, yeah, I had my 5-hour energy. Hey, Taz, who's going to be on the Knockouts calendar that you can get on shoptna.com? oh man, I don't know, but I hope it's Rebel. Like seriously, that was during the whole match. They were just advertising it. And since TNA didn't care about this match and who won, I might as well advertise my shit that you can see on the Chase Oliver channel. This past Monday, I had my WWE Raw review. If you're a WWE fan, go check that out. Tuesday and Fridays, I do Q&As every single week on my channel. I uploaded the Tuesday Q&A where there was an interesting question of what if John Cena and Hulk Hogan switched eras. Earlier today, I uploaded my NFL Week 2 predictions. There was a little bit of an editing error in my Week 2 predictions. I explained that in the comment section down below. But if you can get past by that, go check that out. Tomorrow, NXT TakeOver. Yes, NXT is going to be taking over my channel as I will have my TakeOver short review and then my long review with my good friend David Rivera from In the Hot Seat Live. So make sure you guys check all of that out on the Chase Oliver channel. Now, let's move on forward with the TNA review. The EC3 and Kurt Angle promo, let me just say this. I don't like the chemistry these two have on the mic with each other. I just don't feel like they mesh well together on the mic. It's not that the promo was bad. It was decent. I just didn't like it because it felt like they were saying the same stuff. Like Kurt Angle was like, every other mention, by the way, you know that I could kick your ass. I'll kick your ass when the time is right. And EC3 is like, well, you know what? I'll kick your ass. And it's just like, okay, really? That's all you guys can say to threaten each other? It was just okay stuff. But I really liked how this promo set up to the street fight between EC3 and Rhino. And when I heard that first announced, this was me watching this. I was like, oh, hell no. They're going to have EC3 lose to Rhino tonight on Impact? Because here's the thing. If you looked at what EC3 was wearing, he was wearing these fucking pink pants, dude. He looked like such a bum tonight. And you just totally think that they were going to embarrass him by wearing these pink fucking pants and him losing to Rhino in the street fight. But guess what? They didn't. TNA made a smart decision. Holy fucking shit. EC3 beat Rhino. Oh my fucking god. I marked out. That was one of the first times I've marked out in a while watching some professional wrestling. I marked the fuck out. I was like, yes! Trouble, 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 trouble. I was like fucking marking the fuck out when EC3 beat Rhino in this damn street fight. The match itself, it was decent. I thought it did a good job. It made EC3 look tough, and Rhino did a good job in a street fight. You know, Rhino's always good for a nice little simple hardcore match here or there. Decent job. EC3 won the match. No problem whatsoever. Decent stuff by TNA. So happy EC3 won, because if he would have lost, oh boy, there would have been some trouble on the Chase Oliver channel. Oh, Velvet Sky got onto the cover of the TNA Knockouts calendar, and I just want to know, are any of you guys buying the TNA Knockouts calendar? Because I know I ain't. I mean, I have a calendar on my phone. I have a calendar on this computer over here. I have a calendar like fucking everywhere I go. I don't need no TNA Impact Knockouts calendar. Congratulations, Velvet Sky. But besides Velvet Sky becoming the calendar girl, we actually got some knockout development as Jessica Havoc, who debuted last week on Impact, came out and ruined the greatness that was Velvet Sky winning the cover of the Knockouts calendar. Oh, poor Velvet Sky. She couldn't even have her moment. Jessica Havoc had to come out there and ruin it and beat up Gail Kim. And there's my girl Brittany. But you know what happened to Brittany? Chokeslam, bitch. You mean nothing to us. And I love the random cut to Madison Rayne and Taryn Terrell. And then Mike Tenay like saying the forced dialogue. You could see the concern of Madison Rayne and Taryn Terrell on their face. And Taryn Terrell's just kind of like, and Madison Rayne's like she's trying to act like she's surprised, but she isn't. Like, it's so bad. But I did like what they did with Gail Kim and Jessica Havoc, though, where you had Havoc take away the title, and then afterwards, Gail Kim, you know, later in the night, she's like, I'm going to find you, Havoc, I'm going to kick your ass. And then afterwards, you know, before the main event match, you had it where Gail Kim and Havoc brawl backstage, and then this leads this brawl to the, you know, to the Impact Zone. I know it's the Manhattan Center, but I'm saying Impact Zone because I'm fucking used to it from watching TNA for so many years. But you lead them out to outside to the ring, and they're brawling it out, and security is getting in the way. And what a way to make Havoc look like a beast by making that one security guard look like a bitch. I was laughing so hard when that dude sold that shit from Havoc. I was like, what a champion that security guard was. And it made Havoc look like a beast. And, you know, they're doing a good job with Jessica Havoc, making her feel like an important figurehead for the Knockouts division so far. TNA, if you're going to make Havoc look like a beast, Go all the way with it. She has to become your Knockouts champion soon. You need something fresh in the Knockouts division. Havoc could be that something fresh. And definitely when it comes down to women's wrestlers right now on mainstream TV, she feels like the most dominant women's wrestler on mainstream TV. Compared to all the WWE Divas and TNA Knockouts, she feels super duper unique compared to everyone else. So please, TNA, I beg of you, find a way to get that title on Havoc soon. Find a way, because you won't regret it when you put the title on her. But besides Velvet Sky becoming the calendar girl, we actually got some knockout development as Jessica Havoc, who debuted last week on Impact, came out and ruined the greatness that was Velvet Sky winning the cover of the Knockouts calendar. Oh, poor Velvet Sky. She couldn't even have her moment. Jessica Havoc had to come out there and ruin it and beat up Gail Kim. And there's my girl Brittany. But you know what happened to Brittany? Chokeslam, bitch. You mean nothing to us. And I love the random cut to Madison Rayne and Taryn Terrell. And then Mike Tenay like saying the forced dialogue. You could see the concern of Madison Rayne and Taryn Terrell on their face. And Taryn Terrell's just kind of like, and Madison Rayne's like she's trying to act like she's surprised, but she isn't. Like, it's so bad. But I did like what they did with Gail Kim and Jessica Havoc, though, where you had Havoc take away the title, and then afterwards, Gail Kim, you know, later in the night, she's like, "I'm gonna find you, Havoc. I'm gonna kick your ass." And then afterwards, you know, before the main event match, you had it where Gail Kim and Havoc brawl backstage, and then this leads this brawl to the, you know, to the Impact Zone. I know it's the Manhattan Center, but I'm saying Impact Zone because I'm fucking used to it from watching TNA for so many years. But you lead them outside to the ring, and they're brawling it out, and security is getting in the way. And what a way to make Havoc look like a beast by making that one security guard look like a bitch. I was laughing so hard when that dude sold that shit from Havoc. I was like, what a champion that security guard was. And it made Havoc look like a beast. And, you know, they're doing a good job with Jessica Havoc, making her feel like an important figurehead for the Knockouts division so far. TNA, if you're going to make Havoc look like a beast, go all the way with it. She has to become your Knockouts champion soon. You need something fresh in the Knockouts division. Havoc could be that something fresh. And definitely when it comes down to women's wrestlers right now on mainstream TV, she feels like the most dominant women's wrestler on mainstream TV. Compared to all the WWE Divas and TNA Knockouts, she feels super duper unique compared to everyone else. So please, TNA, I beg of you, find a way to get that title on Havoc soon. Find a way, because you won't regret it when you put the title on her. I am really interested to see what TNA does with Manic and James Storm. I don't know if they're going to have the Great Sanada and Manic be a tag team after all this. I don't really care. I'm just loving what James Storm is doing as a heel, and I'm enjoying what they have done in the character change from boring old Seiya Sanada to now this Great Sanada. But the tag team match with James Storm, the Great Sanada, taking on Tajiri and Aston Aries, I thought it was a pretty damn good match. I enjoyed myself watching it. Tajiri can still go in the ring. The dude's like, what, mid-40s, and this guy can still kick some major ass. He looked better than half the wrestlers I watched today, man. I thought Tajiri looked awesome tonight in this match, and I really liked how the Great Sanada got the winning pinfall here. This character change has just been great. No pun intended. It just has been fucking great from what they're doing. They're making him look like a big deal. He's getting serious big wins on TV. Legit fucking wins on TV. Great fucking shit, TNA. Keep it up what you're doing with the Great Sanada. The main event, the tag team series, is continuing on, and it was a tables match this week. The Dudley boys got to choose it. And this was a really, really good main event. A strong main event to close out Impact Wrestling this week. These three teams did a good job. Is it as good as their main event 2 weeks ago? I wouldn't say so. Even though it was a tables match, it was more gimmicky and they could do more gimmicky stuff. I really just enjoyed their simple triple threat match more than this tables match. But it's still a good match nonetheless. Definitely the match of the night. And the Hardy Boys won this match. I was actually kind of surprised that the Hardy Boys won, and they beat the Wolves out of all people. I guess they're trying to really build up the underdog story for the Wolves in this tag team series tournament. But they did a really good job with this match, like I said. Jeff Hardy hit the swanton on Davey Richards through a table. And then afterwards, they both climbed the ladder and they say, Next time we face, it's going to be a ladder match, and a ladder match with these three teams. Sign me fucking up. That's going to be freaking awesome. I ain't going to deny it. That is going to be an awesome car crash match to watch. But like I said, this was a good match. Not as good as their first match. I'll be honest there when I say that. But this was definitely a good match, and definitely one you should check out from Impact Wrestling this week. This week's Impact, I would say, was a solid episode. I really did enjoy myself watching this week's episode of Impact. There's times that it dragged, and I felt that you could have restructured the show so that way it could have flowed a little bit better. One thing that I thought was completely missing on this show was that nice filler 5-minute X Division match. I felt there was missing a one-on-one high-flying Tigre Uno versus whoever the fuck you wanted to face in an X Division match, you know, just for 5 minutes on television. That's one thing that I felt was missing from this Impact that would have helped this show a lot more. But I really did like how TNA used their backstage segments tonight. You know, I felt they did a good job hyping me up for the matches. You know, not necessarily getting me excited for No Surrender though next week, which kind of was a bugger to me, but hey, it is what it is. But this was definitely a solid episode of Impact Wrestling this week. What did you guys think about Impact Wrestling? Comment down below your thoughts on Impact Wrestling. If you guys like me, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68 and check out my website, chillinwithchase.com. I am out of here. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Peace.